Hey y'all. I don't know why I just said it like that, but hey y'all. How are we doing today? Today is a good day. It's sunny, it's not too hot. Um Today for me is a Thursday, so whatever day you're watching this on, hope you're having a good one. It is como mediodía. Past mediodía, it's 4 p.m. Today's a no makeup day. I don't like to expose myself like this and I'm embarrassed, but I don't care. You'll see this. I thought that it was hormonal acne, but no, I was wrong. I switched up sunscreens recently, or not recently, within like the last month. Yeah, within the last month, and I was using the Trader Joe's ones, the Super Goop dupe one. Girl, do not buy that. Do not buy that. I looked it up on TikTok, and so many people have been experiencing the same thing as me, like all this. So, girl, if you're watching this and you use the Trader Joe's or you're contemplating using it, do not buy it. Do not buy it. Okay, moving on. I had to address this first, okay? So I'm just letting my skin kind of breathe for a little while. I'm not wearing makeup for today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, that's first things first. Second thing. So, I wanted to have a little chat with you, as if I don't always. But this one's a little more not serious, but more like educational, if you will, in the sense that I'm going to tell you what I got educated on. I wanted to talk about a couple things recently. I've been dealing with a couple things in terms of like my health, right? Not dealing with anything, but like thinking about it and just kind of reflecting on the past, the present, what I want for myself in the future, right? And so there was this like Instagram post where it's like, oh, see how you've changed in the last 6 years, and you know how like they have the little diagram, whatever, the little six when you can choose between 2, 3, 4, 6, whatever. And so I put six from the last 6 years, and I'm just reflecting about like my diet and the way that I've eaten, the way I've been able to maintain my body and or change it. And so I kind of wanted to get into that and get into my past, my diet, the way that I used to eat. And I do want to put a trigger warning. I did have an eating disorder, and I will be talking about that in this video. So let's get into it. So, first things first, I want to start with my fitness journey. I started my fitness journey when I was 16. I remember my mom having us sign up for a CrossFit gym. I fucking fuck that gym for other reasons. But that's where I learned to lift, and I learned like the compound movements. I learned how to do back squat. I learned like stuff, just like a little bit of basics. And I will say, even though I'm saying basics, there are some things that I truly did not learn until now, and I'm going to continue to learn. We're never done learning. I'm just going to put that out there. So I started my journey there in terms of my fitness. And so obviously, we get taught that in the time that I was growing up, there was a lot of diet culture. There was a lot of like those model diets or whatever, the ones that they would put on like the magazines and stuff. And obviously YouTube was popping off with all the diets and all these random things, right? So I truly never really learned how to eat, how to have a healthy relationship with food, or like all I knew was the freaking what's on my plate. And even with that, like I still didn't really understand. So in terms of my fitness and my diet, I was kind of like learning. But the problem here was that 16-year-old me did not understand that my body was going to change and develop and grow, and through hormonal changes I also had like a growth spurt, etc., etc. We as humans, that's just normal, and so I really truly didn't understand that, and I thought that I was going to just stay the same size my whole life. And I did have a family member tell me like they would make me feel bad if, or like tell me that I can't be this. I have to stay the same size or else I'm not going to be attractive. And so that was always my mentality. And um those same people would be like, "Oh, like if you don't weigh X amount of weight, like you're not pretty and nobody's going to like you." That's what I took, at least. And so as I was learning what it meant to go to the gym, to be consistent, to do all these things for my health, what I didn't understand was that eating is an extremely big part of that. And so I thought that if I didn't eat, that means I'm not going to gain weight. And if I train, I'm just going to grow the muscle. I'm going to stay lean. I'm going to stay skinny, right? So that's what my mentality was. I would very much starve myself. Clearly, that was wrong. But in that moment, I thought, okay, if I don't know, it's just like math. Like, I thought that if you do 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? If I did 0 plus 1, it equals 1. So that means it's less. That means I'm going to be skinnier. That means if you understand, you understand. Because that's what my brain thought. I developed that eating disorder, and I was like that for a long time. I would say until I was like 18, 19, 20. Like that's when I really started to like eat. The first couple years or the last couple years of high school, I was just kind of like very much starving myself over, what's it called, over exercising, over I'm just gonna try to put like the two definitions so you guys kind of understand what I was going through in that age and my mindset. So then I learned about intermittent fasting, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna just stick to what I know in terms of starving myself and just eat a little bit. That way I'm not compromising my goals because my goals need me to eat, right? Um, that was around like, yeah, like 1920. But as I started turning from like into going into my 20s, I really truly, and because I was going into my 20s during the panorama, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, so I'm just gonna be safe and say that. But during the panorama, I was very vicious. I very much divulged, and I very much would binge, and so would my then boyfriend, now fiance, and we both did gain weight. And just like a lot of people during the pandemic, like we weren't active, we weren't moving, there was no like TDEE, like when your normal movement throughout the day, that's how many calories you lose, blah 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 blah, without exercise. We just literally were very sedentary, and so obviously we were going to gain weight. I will also say, giving context to that also, I growing up, I kind of like changed, like we moved a couple times in the time that I was like really developing, I guess. And I used to live in Berkeley, and Berkeley was very like organic, whole food stuff like that. And my mom educated herself on that, but the part that she didn't educate us on is that we have to have a healthy enough relationship where we can have those sweets, we can have those chips, we can have those unhealthy processed foods in moderation. And that's something that I did not learn. And so as I grew up and I started to have adult money, I made adult choices by just binging, buying chips, buying all the stuff that my mom kind of just like prohibited us from eating. I mean, once in a while we would eat, once in a while we would get pizza, but it was not a reoccurrence. It was very like only on special occasion, only on like family gatherings type thing. And so I didn't understand that it's okay in moderation, just with everything in our life. That's where I'm trying to go with that. There was another problem. So those are the big two, right? So eating disorder, then intermittent fasting, and then like binging. Um, Within the binging, I really truly was not mentally like okay, and I would like punish myself by starving myself. And obviously that was not okay. I thought that that was gonna, like, that was the solution to me gaining weight. I would just have to starve myself till I was at my desired weight. But clearly that's not the case. That's not what happened. And I suffered mentally because what once worked for me was not working now. And so I kind of had to like rethink and reevaluate. But the wrong thing here is that like I was still hesitant to truly understand and learn that my body needs to eat a certain amount of calories, not just a shake and water. And so I ended up doing this thing, and you could probably still find the video on my YouTube channel. I did a review on the camp, and I will say maybe it helps like certain people. I don't know, like, but in my opinion, it just was not a good fit. It was not sustainable. It was not healthy. I was not eating enough. I was depriving my body of the nutrients that it needed, and I was overworking out. I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think, but you know what I mean. I was just pushing myself too much physically and was not eating enough, you know. And I did that two separate times. The first time was like after when I was in my 20s and I had my adult money that I had explained before, in which I started consuming a lot more than I was before. I gained weight. I gained like maybe 15 pounds, but obviously that affected me because of my past, right? Binging, whatever, and my eating disorders, and this mentality to be like slim and small. Um, I did it to lose those 15 pounds, and I did lose those plus 15 more. So I ended up losing 30 pounds, and I got smaller. And the thing here is that I did that right before the panorama, right? So it was that I was small again. I was happy. Still, I would say I was still starving myself in that time because I was eating around less than 1400 calories, and that's just not okay. Um, Panorama happened, started overeating, binge eating, started, I was just sedentary. We all were, and I blamed myself a lot for that. I thought that like I did all that hard work prior and then whatever. So right after that, I literally went back after I ended up gaining like 40 pounds more, I think, or something like that. And as I'm telling the story, hopefully Futurelessly is showing you pictures of what I looked like in those times. Because I really do want to be authentic with you guys and show that it's not me and my fiance always say this, we can only see the 10%. I want you guys to understand more than that 10% and see that it takes a lot and it takes a real journey to get to where I am today. And so let me just continue with my story, and I'll give you that little spiel after. So I went back to the same place and I did the same thing where I was eating this very, very little. I was like, how, I don't know if a lot of you watch the UFC, but I do. And the cuts that they make and this extreme, like, meal cutting, whatever, like, I did that. I did a gallon of water a day. I did the tilapia with asparagus. I did the no salt to have no water retention. I did all these things and I overexerted my body so much, right? And so I did it again. I got skinny. I obviously wasn't as skinny as I was before, but I did lose the 30 pounds. Um, but I still was not at my desired weight. Like, one thing I will say within this whole journey from 16 till now, like, even now I'm still not at where I want to be, and I know now that that's okay and that I won't always be perfect and I'm not ever going to be perfect. So, continuing, I lost the weight, and then I went to school. I kind of went through this like emotional, very bad mental health stage between that because it was like after the panorama. I think I was like 22 and right now I'm 23. So a year ago I was in a pretty bad state mentally, and I was battling that. And so I really truly wasn't looking after my fitness or my diet. And so I gained a little bit of weight. I think I gained like 15 pounds within that span of time. I think it was 6 months to a year that like I was really not okay. And when I ended up from that time, it was like a year, and I ended up graduating May of last year. So it's been a year period. Um, and I truly wanted to learn. I was in a state where I was crying every day because I knew what I was capable of, and I knew that this is not the way it's supposed to be. I knew that like food is meant to be enjoyed, and I'm supposed to also like not feel this way, not feel so deprived and so like that I can't do things, or that I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And I was really really not I yeah, I guess I could say I was depressed. And so from there I truly decided, okay, I'm going to learn. And I will say my brother-in-law really truly helped me, because I think at this point was like 6 months into like his journey in like his fitness thing or whatever. And he taught me about, I knew these things, but I think this is something that we have to learn as human beings. Even though we know something, it's sometimes we learn better when it's said through other people, when we take it in from others and see the evidence of what they're telling us really show through. And so I decided, okay, this is the time that I'm going to do it on my own. And I don't need diets. I don't need this. I don't need that. I just need to be in a calorie deficit. I need to work out, and I need to like have a routine and kind of have like a program. In this time, I was building my program and kind of like building my strength in the gym. I was learning what foods I liked and what I didn't. I was learning what I felt that I needed to have a sustainable, like, for my diet to be sustainable. My brother's passing by and I'm a little embarrassed, so I'm gonna wait till he walks away. Okay, continuing. In terms of my journey, I've kind of developed in the gym. I have specific goals that I kept in mind, and I've been very consistent in the gym. I try to make it in there a good 5 times a week, and that obviously depends too with what happens, and I don't put myself down if I can't make it to the gym a couple times a week, because you can always just go back, and it's not like the progress you have made will be erased. It's still there, and you just keep going, you keep pushing. There's only, when you fail, you can only become better and progress. And so I guess, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I am now I'm hella strong, I will say. Like, I for a long time believed that there were certain exercises that were only meant for men, and that is not the case. You can be strong as however strong that you want to be. You can make it happen, and I feel like I am proof of that. I in the past would see my fiance lift these big ass dumbbells and like bench them, and now, girl, I'm gonna insert a clip right now. Like, I'm now benching 50s. Like, never would I have thought. Like, that's benching 100 pounds. Like, never would I have thought that I was gonna be capable of that. And here I am. If you guys want a video on what I'm doing at the gym, I will happily share that. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I will make it happen, and I will show you guys what I do. Very exciting stuff. But as of right now, I've been on a cut because I do want to lose weight. I'll share some photos right now of like before and afters, kind of like what I've been through and doing these last 4 months. And my goals are further than that. I want to progress even more. And right now I'm doing a cut. My goals are to lose some body fat and increase my muscle mass, and obviously increase the size of these cheeks. um but yeah, I am on that journey, and we're going to see where that takes us. I just want to be as strong as I can be, always work to progress, and maintain this good relationship that I have with food. I will say that if I want a chocolate bar, I'll eat a chocolate bar. If I want an ice cream, I'm going to eat an ice cream. And if I want chips, I'm gonna eat what I can with the calories, and being mindful of eating within my macros and being conscious of that. Personally, what works for me is counting my calories. In the past, it did very much trigger me, but I'm getting a lot better, and it's been a lot healthier relationship for me to count my calories in order to reach my goals. Sometimes people can do that through intuitive eating. That is just not the case for me. I also want to mention that it's hard for me to check the weight on the scale, and obviously that's a big part of checking your progress. And so what I do is I ask my fiance to look at the number on the scale and kind of track that for me and let me know if I'm progressing or what I need to change. And so if you have somebody that will support you in that way, I highly recommend you do that. And I also take pictures, of course. That's one of the bigger ways that you can see progress. I also do my measurements. I feel like my relationship with food has grown so much and gotten so much better because I'm not restrictive. I don't tell myself I can't do this and I can't do that. I don't tell myself like limiting beliefs or behaviors, and I just want to share this because I hope that maybe one person that's watching this knows that like it's not linear. This journey is not linear. We're not meant to drop down so much weight in like a small amount of time. It's meant to be consistent. We're meant to enjoy the process and like know that these things happen when they're meant to. And so with this, I want to just this is kind of the ending section, and say that as I go through this journey, I'm not done. This is only the beginning. I've only been in this part of my, you know, relationship with food journey for like 4 months now, and I know that it's going to get better. I'm a very picky eater also. One of these times I'm going to make a video about like what I eat within a week because it's random. I'm very picky, but it works, you know? And so I know there's a lot of women out there who are scared of both the gym and or like building muscle. I just want to say that like I once was that person. I once was someone who thought I'm meant to just stay small and be as small as possible, but I no longer think that way. I want to become big. I want to have muscle. I want to see progress. I'm not going to like make myself smaller just to fit what society's standards might be, and I now am only prioritizing the way that I want to be and the way that makes me happy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I am going to show you guys my journey, and I hope this conversation kind of brings light to the fact that, you know, having a healthy relationship with food is not always easy, and it takes a lot of time and determination, discipline to create that, you know, healthy relationship for yourself, for your health. And yeah, as of right now, that's all I got for you today, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope that it helped anyone if it needed to help them, and if you guys need any advice, please let me know. I have a lot to tell. I didn't go in depth into every single thing, and if you guys want a more in-depth video about what I eat, about the way that I train, about just small things that I might incorporate into like my life that make it easier for me, I would love to share that with you guys. So that's pretty much it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I do bring lifestyle content and just a lot of different types of videos about me and about my life. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.